from specific nations where terrorists have been known to come from. Australia, if you are a refugee and you arrive near Australia by water, you are not allowed under any circumstances, well, maybe some, but you're not allowed to step foot on the mainland. You are ushered to an island, an offshore island that they own.
Yeah.
You are kept there, vetted, figured out.
Under quarantine.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you're on an island, so sure. You're with the other refugees, I assume. I guess it's quarantine from...
There's three of them. There's Fred, Bill, and Sally Mae.
Yes. Anyway, you're there, and then once they find out that you're a real refugee...
And Sally Mae really should be quarantined.
And once you find out that you're a real refugee and that you're safe or potentially safe... You're still not allowed to go to Australia. Australia law says then they will try to find another country who will take you.
Yeah.
Lucky for us, President Obama said, we'll take them.
A few hundred or something?
Yeah, 1,500 or whatever it is.
It wasn't that many, I don't think.
We'll take them. It was
more than 6.
It was under 2,000. It was like 1,580 or something.
Really? I thought it was like 250.
Okay, but you're wrong.
Okay.
You can think what you want.
And I do.
I know.
So Trump said, no, we're not going to take him.
No, he didn't.
Oh, didn't he?
He said he's going to look into it because he hates it, but it was an agreement. He intends to honor it.
Well, then what's the hoopla? Why is the Australian president all pissy?
Because we probably won't renew it. We're probably not going to renew that.
Good. Why would we take other people?
Exactly.
I think it's stupid. Okay. Moving on. Trump hates gays.
Approximately 1,200 refugees.
Oh, did you hear me?
Yeah, I know he hates gays. What's your point?
Well, I just wondered.
Love Trump's hate.
Because apparently he kept intact all of the lesbian, gay, transgender, queer rights. He didn't take any of those away. I don't think he's that hateful of a person. Okay. Oh, the big news. Who is it? Some judge.
Who is what? What do you...
Trump's Supreme
Are we going to burn down a city or something?
The night's young.
Okay.
We might. Look up the nominee. I forgot to put it on our prep page for Supreme Court.
Gorsuch,
Grushnik,
Gorsuch. What about it? Excellent pick.
Seems like a good pick. Even some Democrats are saying, it seems to be.
Here's the deal. He's
straightforward. They know what they're going to get.
I like him because his track record is pretty strict.
Yeah.
Originalist.
Right.
He reads the text of the Constitution. He reads the text of the law.
That's in dispute.
And he judges the text of the law based on the text of the Constitution and the history of the text of the Constitution, what was actually intended by the people that wrote it, not what some liberal professor says it should mean in today's day and age because it's outdated. What did it mean? If you don't like what it means now, change it. That's fine, but I think that's the only way that you can be a successful judge.
That's what you have to work with is the Constitution.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
So it sounds like he will be confirmed probably because there's not a lot of controversy around him, at least yet.
Yeah.
I mean, they could dig up some skeletons, who knows, but right now it's looking like he might make it, which it sounds like he's going to be a lot like Scalia, right?
And let's not forget, I think he'll be better than Scalia, actually. But
he'll be younger.
Yeah, he looks better. That's what I mean.
He looks a lot better.
Yeah. Let's not forget that there were...
He's not a bad-looking guy.
There were a few liberal politicians like, Obama, Hillary Clinton, maybe Joe Biden, maybe Chuck Schumer even, that voted for him. They approved his nomination of...
federal,
whatever federal court it was.
Yeah, lower court.
So they supported him then, and they're complaining now, of course. I think he might be pro-life. I assume he is, that group of people will have an issue with that because they hate it now.
Yeah.
They didn't a couple years ago, but now they do. So we'll see. I think it'll be good.
Are we close to a break?
Why? Are you tired?
I'm exhausted.
Do you want to take a break?
No. So Jeff Sessions,
What?
he survives, right? For
The
Attorney General
passed through the committee, so
right.
that's good.
Betsy DeVos is struggling a bit.
I don't know.
You ask what's so scary about her? I don't know.
Well, I know what it is. I know exactly what it is. People are afraid that she's going to do away with public schools. But if you ask me, what's so great about her? I say, she might do away with public schools.
Right, right. She did a terrible job in front of
I don't know.
the Senate committee.
I don't
there.
agree.
Oh, yeah, it was terrible.
I don't agree that it was
terrible.
terrible. I mean, she's not
She's
not like a polished politician.
No, she's not.
That's okay to me. So you don't think she'll get the nomination?
I don't. Now, I read an article. It was a pretty good one. I think it was in Reason, where they talked about why is Jeff Sessions, sort of getting a pass, and Betsy DeVos is having so much trouble. Where the AG has more power and more possibility to help or harm the country than the Secretary of Education, who has very little power on a state level.
Yeah, except for unions.
And exactly. So what he referenced, the author referenced, was some studies done by a guy who wrote a couple books on it, and he talked about the ability to organize and fight things based on the good or bad that they can do. And he gave an example of if there was a bill proposed saying we're going to repair all the roads in the country and we're going to get $80 billion to do it, you would have all of the construction companies and all of the unions and all of those places jumping on board in support, because that dramatically affects them and helps them, right? They're going to get a lot of money.
Well, unless Trump did it.
And the people who oppose it aren't really going to oppose it that much because the tax is only going to be, a few dollars per person, and that's not a big impact on my life. And it's weird, the author was saying, because Betsy DeVos has very little power, yet teachers' unions and teachers themselves and parents, they're all afraid of her, and they're all organized, and they're all jumping on her because they feel that there's going to be this great harm done to them when she has very little power. Yet Jeff Sessions sort of gets a pass. So we'll see what happens.
Yep.
I thought it was a good article. I didn't really explain it that well, but
oh, you did a fine job, Brian.
The thing is, I don't know that she's going to make it, because even the Republicans,
I think she will.
Some of the Republicans are like, we weren't impressed with her.
I think she will, and I think it'll be good. I'm not scared. Look, if she,
I ain't afraid of no.
If
DeVos.
she hands out some vouchers and some charter schools and private schools pop up, and the public schools can't retain students because people are wanting to go to those other schools,
that's on them.
Then maybe the public schools should do a better job.
Yeah, the thing is, all of those charter schools and public and private schools are usually at a state level, so all she can do is dangle carrots here and there, and it's not a big deal. If a lot of these rural states where there's not that many schools, and it's not like the kids from the farms are going to be bused somewhere else to go to this charter school or private school somewhere, probably not going to do that.
Sure, right.
So, and that's most of America, right? So I don't know that Betsy DeVos can do a lot of harm other than to abolish the Department of...
That's the opposite of harm.
No, you said it would be a good thing.
The opposite of harm.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, yeah.
I mean, I would love it if she got in there and first day
fired herself,
proposed. yes.
This department no longer exists. Boom, and I'm out of here.
And I'm filing for unemployment.
I
mean, now of course, she won't have that power as Secretary of Education. She can't close it down, but she certainly could
reduce it.
She could reduce a lot of it, and she certainly could propose doing that to Trump or maybe to Congress. I'm not sure who creates it, but yeah, absolutely.
Right. And again, it's 10 to 13% of all school budgets across the country get of the entire countrywide budget on education, the federal government only kicks in about 10 to 13%. So it's not a huge slice of the pie.
Something that kind of another executive order, I'm going back kind of related, that Trump did, it reminded me of you, what you said what your platform would be if you ran for public office.
Oh, yeah.
You said that your platform would be repealing as many laws as you can.
Right.
That's not exactly what Trump's doing, but he did put out an order, a proclamation that any agency, of course, executive branch agency, that wants to implement a new policy must, with that implementation, find 2 policies to remove.
Right.
Which I think is awesome.
Yeah, it's housekeeping.
Now it doesn't talk about the magnitude of the policies, right?
Right.
So
you talked about that.
Yeah,
the other day. Give an example.
They could get rid of like the 2 rolls of toilet paper per stall, and the all hand soap must be pink policies, and replace them with
you must wear a Star of David on your sleeve if you're Jewish,
right? Or go door to door and hit people with a bat, or some policy like that, right? But still, I mean, it's reducing policy. Now, do you think they'll have policies where, like in the example I gave, they'll get rid of the 2 toilet paper policies, but the new policy will include a 3 toilet paper roll minimum?
Yeah, I mean that could be the.
Yeah, we only have 1 policy instead of 3 now. It says the same thing, but there's only 1.
The beatings will continue until morale improves.
Well, and that's the problem with measuring thing and metrics is you can play the game.
Right.
But I think it's great. The better part of that,
it's a good principle. Right?
The better part of that order, though, is that any new policy must not increase the cost or have a cost greater than $0 additional dollars for that agency. So the agencies are not permitted, unless there's an exception given by the director of the whatever agency, they are not allowed to implement policies that are going to cost money, which I think is amazing. So you can have a policy of you can add a policy that your toilet paper must be green instead of white.
But if it costs more,
green better not cost more.
Right.
I think it. Or you can have green toilet paper, but you have to buy cheaper soap. It has to be a net 0, right?
I think it should be a net loss.
It should be,
reduction,
but I think not adding any more.
It's a good start.
Any more spending is great. We can take a break now if you want to.
Oh, do I? You want a trivia question?
I mean, we are a little
know
early
you do.
Because you did your.
That's all right. We'll fake it on the. We'll fake it on the back end.
Do you have any trivia questions?
I do.
Yes.
It's funny you should ask. This one I may have asked before too. I don't know, but we are funny. What? Now listen carefully, right? What famous?
Oh, okay.
American's
Ed Out Show
father.
Okay.
What famous American's father headed the investigation into the Lindbergh kidnapping? Now, the Lindbergh kidnapping was Charles Lindbergh, who flew across the Atlantic, the first person to do it in the early 1927. He had a child. He was a national hero. He had a child, a young child, and it was kidnapped in 1932. Whose father investigated the Lindbergh kidnapping? And this happened in New Jersey.
Oh, that's very close to where Donald J. Trump lives.
Uh-huh.
All right. HeadOutShow.com. We'll be right back.
Lock it in. And rip the knob off. Red State Talk Radio.
My Parents Open Carry, a pro-gun kids book from White Feather Press. 13-year-old Brenna and her parents spend their day in typical fashion. But what's not so typical is that Brenna's parents lawfully open carry handguns for self-defense. And the Strongs join a growing number of families who are standing up for their Second Amendment right and bringing gun ownership out of the closet. Order your copy of this unique kids book at myparentsopencarry.com.
It's a bumpy ride through the political jungle with Nate and Brian.
Believe me, if I started murdering people, there'd be none of you left.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like people